Welcome to my podcast. Today's dream, tomorrow's reality. My name is Vicki Poole. I'm a life coach, health coach, and a hypnotist at the Enlightened Peach. This podcast is all about embracing our mosaic life. And some of you may ask, what is a mosaic life? Well, it's recognizing that all the pieces of our life, the good, the bad, the indifferent, have all come together to make us who we are. Change any one thing and we are different. With that in mind, I invite you to embrace your perceived imperfections and celebrate who you are. This podcast is unedited and raw, just like life. I am your host, and today I have a special guest with me. I will introduce in just a moment, but if you have any ahas or questions, please leave a comment or a voice message. And remember to like, subscribe, share, whatever all the little things are that you can do. Please do that and help us get the word out. So now let's get started. So this amazing guest I have with me today is Gabriel Tuggle. And I'll have to share the way I came to know him is that one of my friends works with him and she knows about my podcast and different things. And she reached out to me and she said, there's this amazing man that works with me that you need to talk to. She connected us and it was a no-brainer. I had to have a conversation and learn about this amazing man. He's written a book and he'll tell you some little bits and pieces of it, but afterwards, I will have all the links to everything about him, including his book in the description. And so let's just go ahead and get started. So tell us a little bit about your story. And I know some of this, but we purposely did not say a lot when we connected because I love not knowing everything and being able to ask questions and be surprised and shocked and whatever comes about, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So, well, I'll just go ahead and ask. Since I know a little bit about your story, take us back to when you were in high school and you were very athletic and you were doing all the things. And this is where before things changed for you. So just kind of walk us a little bit through your experience of being in high school and being involved in sports, and you were in a hip hop group or something,
Dance group,
right?
yes.
Right,
Yes,
right. Okay,
yes.
It's very intriguing. So go ahead and tell a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Vicki.
My pleasure.
This is such an honor. And the book is mostly is inspirational. It's to help people to get through their adversity. Well, going back to my high school days, I was a freshman entering high school. And it's rare that a freshman starts varsity.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, we had such an amazing defense, amazing team that, it was kind of, unorthodox, unheard of a freshman coming in starting varsity. What I had knew about me previous, in my earlier years about how athletic I was and everything. And they couldn't wait for me to get to high school. So
I bet you couldn't either, right?
No, because that was actually the first, middle school. Actually, that was entering to some of the sanctioned football because, I grew up with a single mom of 4 and she really couldn't afford to put us, in sports as much as we loved it. So, but anyway, moving to high school, the coach we all met one summer doing physical. We had to take a physical, and they saw me. They was talking to me throughout the physical. So during summer, the varsity had practice. So my brother was a part of the varsity team, and a guy named Corey Anderson that lived up the street from me, he was on the varsity team. So we wrote to practice with him. So we, worked out and everything, and next thing I know, after one practice, after one section, the head coach and the defensive coordinator looked at Corey and said, man, you keep bringing him back, and everything. And then next thing I know, it just led to building my confidence even more. And because they wanted me to be a part of the varsity team. So kept going to tryouts and practices during the summer and everything. And then it led up to summer camp. They always have went away for the summer for summer camp. So that year, well, a few years, it was at West Georgia. They went to West Georgia College. So they invited me and another freshman, Philip Benton. And so we went up there and went to West Georgia, and it was like boot camp. I mean, it was tough. It was hot.
Intense,
and all that,
right?
and everything. And you know how most rookies, they treat rookies like on the NFL, football and, teams and everything. So they tried to break me in as a rookie. So it's the first couple of nights they, did some bad things to me, just to try to break me in, but they just didn't know they messed with the right rookie because I reciprocated. I was like, okay, no, you're not finna mess with me. So, throughout the week, I mean, we practiced hard. We actually had a lot of fun. And throughout the camp, they kept noticing my athletic ability, my talents, how good I really was. So they started working me in with the first team and everything.
And what position did you play? I don't remember.
I played cornerback.
Okay.
I played cornerback. That was my primary position my freshman year. But not only that, you had to play two positions. Well, I played three.
Oh, wow.
They had me working out with the cornerbacks, wide receivers, and the quarterbacks.
Wow.
So, it was kind of tough, three different positions, my freshman year, trying to learn, this different playbooks. So you had to be kind of knowledgeable, playing those three.
That's quite
positions.
Impressive. That's a lot of memory.
So it's a lot. That it is a lot of memory. So
yes.
Moving forward, I think it was at Wednesday or Thursday, me and a couple of seniors, we kind of got in trouble because they was messing with me and I was messing with them. So they had about 5 or 6 of us out doing like bear crawls and wheelbarrows, because we was acting out.
Mm-hmm.
And so the week we're gone, we had a great week of camp, and we left that Friday, came back. We had our spring game against, I think it was Fayetteville High, and we of course we beat them.
Of course.
And I played some of that game. So then school started a couple of weeks after that. We had our first game, and the coach was kind of like, do I start him or do I sit him? He was just kind of up in the air about who he wanted to start, because there was a senior in front of me that had been playing. And so it was back and forth. So of course he let the senior start. And then I got my name called like in the first couple of series, and I went out there and made my first varsity hit on a big old running back. I think we was playing Johnson High.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, the whole crowd, the whole team, when I hit him, they was like, wow, a star is born. So we went on and we won the game. And the following week of practice, the head defensive coordinator was like, there's no starting positions on this team. You're gonna have to fight for it. So each position had each player, whoever wanted to challenge him. So I challenged the senior, and guess what? I beat him.
Wow.
I won the starting position. So that right there was so incredible. Just being on that varsity. And our defense was studs. We had a all-pro NFL, Dale Carter, playing on the opposite side as a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was my mentor. I watched how he practiced. I watched how he played the game. I watched how he covered people. I watched how he everything about him. He was just talented.
Mhm.
And of
Well,
course,
that's probably why you did so well too, because one of the things they say in life and in business or anything, if you see somebody that's doing things that you want to do, you watch them and you figure out how they're making this work for them, especially if it's somebody you admire greatly, and just kind of emulate them and you excel in the process. So that's amazing.
it's amazing. So like you said, in order to be the best, you have to play the best and you have to study, the best. Just like, and I never, during weekends, all that was football. While the other kids are out playing, watching, football. And one of the guys that I always have watched, and he's my, I love him, is Deion Sanders. I watched him play. I watched him. I mean, he was just so dynamic at Florida State. And I wanted to be like that. So I would go out and I would, practice, and I would just watch his style and I would try to play his style, but at the same time, play my game as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I think in life, like you said, in order to be good, you have to practice. You have to, it's all about repetition. And that's what I did, was repetition. So I excuse me, I practiced like there was no tomorrow. I worked on my game, I worked on my craft, and we had a great season. We ended up going to the playoffs, but we ended up losing to Southwest DeKalb in the state quarterfinals. And that game was cold as HE double hockey stick. It was cold that night. And it just seemed like every game, that season, I just got even better. And next thing I know, during the summer, same thing. I would start receiving letters, offers in the mail. And I was just like, wow, offers from major colleges, D1 colleges, pretty much all colleges. And then I was able to play baseball. Well, I'm sorry, let me back up. The basketball coach asked me to play basketball. So they already had tryouts. So in the mix of it, he told me I didn't even have to worry about trying out, because he heard how talented I was. So I got a chance to go play basketball for freshmen. That's the only thing that I played my freshman year, is freshman basketball. Everything else was varsity and junior varsity.
Okay.
Because I played JV football as well, and JV baseball. And after JV baseball season was over, they moved me up to varsity. So it was just so crazy how things was unfolding at an early age that I was. And I knew I was good, but I wanted to be the best.
Right.
And that's why I practiced every summer while the kids was out, like you said, playing recreation during the summer. I'm working on my game. Every day after school, we would, after finish homework, I would go out, we'd play football, touch football, tackle football, baseball, fastball, just staying, active and keeping my skill polished.
So how did you have time to get into a dance group?
That's into my senior year.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm thinking, whoa, how did you have time for anything?
And see, that's the thing is, I've always it's really, like they say, eat, breathe, and slept football, sports. And, moving forward, fast forwarding, my junior year, I was the backup quarterback. I pretty much played both ways from sophomore to my junior year. Just didn't get a break hardly, unless, one or two plays maybe come off the field. And my senior year, going into my senior year, that summer, we had a summer league baseball team. I played baseball. I was one of the pitchers. I played outfield, third, second, and I pitched. And that summer, I was one of the ace pitchers. I was one of the dominant pitchers that summer. And it led into going into the senior year of me being one of the starters and one of the aces of the baseball pitchers. So junior year passed by. I mean, still getting letters from football, baseball, you know, pretty much some basketball, and also ran track. So I was a 4-sports athlete.
Oh my heavens.
So, yeah, I was a 4-sports athlete. So that, running track.
You
also
had to be in the top of your physical game too, to be able to physically do all these things, because each one of them is trying on your body in a totally different way. Yes. So you would have to, because, it's like you can ride bicycles and everything, but then when you run, it's a totally different muscles. And so those will really be hard to do. So if you're doing all those different things, man, the physical ability, you had to have the strength at each one of those and be able to perform at that level. I mean, I can see you being in them and performing greatly in one, but not in all of them. So that is just amazing.
Yeah, I was excelling in all of them, but I narrowed it down to 2 my junior year. It was so
your mama probably said, I don't think so.
Yeah, so it was just football and baseball. But what makes it so intriguing is the soccer coach asked me to play soccer.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, oh no, I gotta take some time to myself. I need a break.
I need some sleep, man.
Yes, pretty much. But fast forwarded. I was one of the highly top athletes, of course, in my county, Newton County. I was stately recognized and on the national level of being recognized. I was getting offers from every major college in the world. Did
you have one in particular that as they were getting all these that you were kind of leaning toward?
I wanted to be in the SEC because, as today's SEC is the most dominant conference in football. Mm-hmm. But I had to think about my mom because she had 4 kids that she was, trying to take care of. And I narrowed it down to some schools that most of the schools offered me just football scholarship, and majority and half of them offered me both dual scholarship. And the one, because my mom, she wanted me to stay local, then because she don't like traveling, like getting on a plane or whatever. And I said, okay. But Georgia Tech was the one that was the number one because they had an awesome baseball program, and they just had won the national championship in 1990. Mm-hmm. They split it with Colorado. So, but anyway, that my senior year started. So I'm walking in the school, chest like Superman, all poked out, like I'm the shit. I'm the bad. I'm the shit big. And just having confidence, and that's what most people in this lifetime, they're lacking confidence. But if you got the confidence that you can do anything in the world, the sky is the limit. It's not about being arrogant, because there's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Definitely.
I was more confident. People thought I was arrogant, but no, I was humble and confident.
Well, the people that have no confidence think anybody with confidence is arrogant.
Yes.
That's just the way they perceive it, because they don't have any of that. And so it all feels like arrogance to them.
Yes, I agree. I can't remember what it was that Dion said something about don't mistake his confidence for arrogance, and don't allow his confidence to disturb. How did he have it? I can't remember it verbatim, but he was just saying, don't let his confidence make me look bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So senior year, first game, I actually started quarterback my senior year.
Oh, wow.
My senior year, they wanted me, I was a starting quarterback. And I kind of wanted to, help. I'm a team player. I help out wherever my team need me. That's one thing about in life. I am a team player. And I think everybody needs to look at life experience like being, sports, being a team player.
Right.
Because I mean, it goes into all relationships, friendships, and everything. Because if you're there for that friendship, that marriage or the relationship, you got a team player. Once one go down, the other one just pick it up.
Right.
Pick the pieces back up. But anyway, make a long story short, I started.
We got time.
Yeah. I started quarterback my senior year, which I was kind of bummed out because I had worked so hard from playing both sides, cornerback and receiver and safety. I'm like, wow, but helping out my team. So I started quarterback the first few games. We won one, then we lost. So about the third game into the season, they kind of like switched me back because our defensive secondary was getting, just hammered.
Pummeled.
They was getting beat. Yes.
Yeah.
I was playing both ways, but they wanted, because I was a quarterback, they wanted me to, limit my defensive plays. But so I was just so happy that I was back where I started, where my bread and butter, where my strengths were. And I played both ways. I ended up being the number one receiver you go to target. And of course, I was the number one corner that didn't nobody want to throw to my side. They didn't want to come to my side because I was a shut down corner, just like, DM. But, I like to hit, I like to cover and everything. And I led the teams in interceptions, throughout my career in high school. And not only that, even in baseball, I even broke the stolen base record. So I held the stolen base record until I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
pretty cool.
Oh, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And so, going, back and forth to practice, working out, working on my game. So we moved to this neighborhood called Settlers Grove in Covington, Georgia. And, some of the guys in the neighborhood, they was, dancing and everything. And so they came up to me and say, hey, man, man, you need to take a break, man. You need to have some fun. I'm having fun. I'm pretty much all county and state recognized and pretty much on the national level being recognized. So I'm having some fun. So I said, you know what? I said, all right, I'll join it, and end up joining it. So we would practice, go and compete in talent shows. We would win some trophies, out dance some of the other dance groups that was there. We went from Atlanta, we went to Jasper, we went to Jackson, we went to Monticello, we went to Athens. I think we went up to Alabama, Tennessee, performing. And I never
did
forget.
You fall in love with that in the same way you did football?
No.
So it was just one of the little distraction things, maybe?
Yeah, it was more. It was more of recreational, of getting
like mindless fun kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, keeping my mind at ease, but also I know I had a vision, I had a goal, and I had a dream. And that's one thing. Once I had said I want to free my mom, and that's what I was focused on before Deion Sanders' speech, before he went in the Hall of Fame. When I suited up, I saw the labor of my mom, our mom. And that's what my vision and my goal was, to be a professional athlete, football or baseball. And so I never forget this day. It's like going down in the record books that you remember, everything. February 10th, 1991, I was at a neighbor's house and we was talking and everything. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna walk up the street. Walked up the street and to one of the dancers' house, or the local hangouts where we practice at or whatever. But anyway, I went in there, heard all the commotion, proceeded, went in the back room, just
When you say
engaged.
commotion, does that mean they were all dancing?
Well, no, just having fun, just cracking
Okay.
jokes.
Okay.
Just cracking jokes.
I gotcha.
And I, engaged in the activities, and I said something that was funny to one of the guys that was standing at the dresser. And the whole room just bust out laughing. And next thing I know, all I heard was he, opened the drawer and pulled out the gun and said, "What you say, mother MF?" And those was the last words I heard. He shot me in the head with a .44 caliber point blank. I think I need to. I was shot in the head with a .44 caliber point blank range.
Yeah.
Those was the last words I heard until I woke up in ICU, seeing 5 or 6, 10 TVs on the wall because I was so sedated.
Did you remember what happened at that time when you woke up?
No, I didn't remember anything. And I had to really close one eye just to see the TV. But I was in no man's land. I had no clue where I was. And that's, in life, that's what when adversity come about, when difficult times come up, we are in an unfamiliar territory. We are in an unfamiliar space to where we like, okay, what's going on? We hit the panic button.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, okay, where am I? And my mom and the doctor, came in, and I'm gonna go back.
How long had you been? Were you in a coma or anything? How long had you been in the hospital before you woke up?
I think it was 3 days, because it happened Sunday. Wednesday is when I was like open my eyes.
Okay.
And the doctors, I just found this out maybe a few years ago, that they didn't, they told my mom and my brother-in-law that they didn't think I was going to make it during the surgery. I was in surgery for hours.
To remove the bullet?
Remove the bullet.
Okay.
Yes. And they didn't think that I was going to make it. But only thing I can say, but that most powerful 3-letter word, by God. While he stepped out of not uncertainty, certainly, God stepped in, said, no, I need him. And sometimes in life, if we think about it, we can be the most talented, most athletic, most, driven, hard working, whether it's for doctors, lawyer, being good at whatever, best, basketball player, baseball player, soccer player, all the sports, and even just anything in life. It can happen. Things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Your dreams can get interrupted.
Right.
Just like my dreams of being a professional football and a baseball player, it got interrupted. So there's no discrimination when it comes to, your dreams
Right.
or your goals, because that's just like, he's using me for something is way more important in life. Because if I had made it to the NFL or baseball, I would have never gotten the opportunity to meet some of the most amazing people in my life. And I would not be on this podcast because of that, because he's using me to, me and my story for his glory, to inspire, to be inspirational to someone that's out there, because I was in one of the darkest places of my life. And in life, a lot of humans, a lot of people, they go in those dark places and they don't know how to come out.
Right.
They go in there, they go into depression. They don't think they can make it. They don't think that life, they just stop living, especially the athletes that don't make it to the next level, whether it's college or pro, or make it to the next exam to be the next best lawyer or the next best surgeon, or anything pertaining to going to the next level. They just stop living.
Right.
And as I used all the athletic ability, the hard work, the determination, the dedication, the consistency, the gift that I had to become one of the best at sports, I had to transform and retrain my mind, just like the good book said, you have to transform and renew your mind daily. I had to recreate, I had to reinvent myself to where I am today.
Let me ask you a question. So where did he shoot you?
He shot me on the left side where my speech was.
Okay.
I could not walk, I could not talk, and I couldn't feed myself for months.
Okay.
That's how incredible and how I'm living a miraculous life.
Right.
Because there are 20,000 people that are shot in the United States from guns in the head. That there's only like 5% that survive. 3% go on and live an okay life. They still have something wrong, whether it's speech or they can't walk or talk, or something wrong. I am in that 0.%. I have all my functionality that I'm more than normal. I'm more than a normal person. I am a miraculous man that's living my life after being shot point blank with a 44. That 44 could have took my whole side of my head off.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just like we're redirected in life. So he redirected that bullet to where I'm able to sit here and tell my story and hear the voice of someone that has gone through a terrifying, tragic. And it's mind-boggling.
I imagine your mother was, I mean, I cannot even imagine the horror that she was going through, and your siblings too, with you having been put in this position.
The most difficult time of the entire, other than getting back, but the most difficult time in the dark places I was in, that I didn't recognize my family.
Oh my gosh.
That was the most hurting. And it was so hurting to my mom, my siblings, my family. I didn't recognize them. And I thank God, because I am so love my family because they were so supportive. They was there through thick and thin. My mom, she almost lost her job because she was there by my side. And I will never, never, I mean, I will be forever in debt, of course, for God, but for my mom, I won't ever be in debt with her. But I understand that life is so amazing when you can overcome this terrifying near-death experience.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in life we have to reset and start over. I had to start over. I didn't, I didn't have a plan B or a plan,
Yeah.
because
A lot of people in your position, from what I've understood, that are stars in football, baseball, whatever it is in high school, and they're getting all these college things, and it's like the whole focus becomes, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do. And you take that away, and that just strips all of your identity away, because that was being this physical, I don't even know what anomaly of doing all these things and being so good at all of them. That's your identity. And then you strip that away, and that's got to be pretty humbling, for one thing, and got to be scary to be put in that place. To now, all these dreams I've had, all these things I was going to do. I was going to do this for my mom. I was going to do this, and I was going to do this, and I could see where it was going, but now I don't know. I mean, that's got to take you to your knees.
Oh, absolutely. I was, like I said, I was in unfamiliar territory. I was in uncertainty, but can attest to this, that God did not put a quitting spirit in me. So just like, I had to transform, I had to renew my mind to get that authentic, my natural spiritual gifts. I had to initiate my faith like never before.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Because sometimes in life we be in these uncertain certain situations that we like I said, we go into a depression, we go into giving up, and that's not what it's about, because I could have given up on life. I could have given up on just anything. I could have been a bomb, and not only that, I could have been a vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been in a wheelchair.
Yeah, determination and desire to do something is paramount, even for people that are on in a place where they could possibly just perish. If they have this strong desire to live, they'll pull through, and everybody's like, wow, I didn't believe that was happening. So it's not only your God, because God is there, but it's also how strong your will is to live and persevere.
And that's what it is. It's the will. It's His will, and it's his life. I am His temple, and He's using me as a vessel to be mighty and powerful, to let people know that He is real. And whether non-believers and believers, I am living a miraculous life. God is using me mighty and powerful to inspire, to be impactful in a good way, to let people know, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, you're not defeated. Mm-hmm. You still have life, and I have your back. You're in God. God has you in His hands. He has you in His hands. And Martin Luther King, once said, longevity is all right, it's in its place. But living a long life means much more, to live a life filled with purpose. I am living my purpose. And people, if you're listening, I know people always have some difficulty understanding what is their purpose. But once whether you're serving, we was created to serve, we was created to worship. We was created for way much more than what we can even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just reaching down and initiating that potential that you have. That's the key, because we all was born and created with a specific purpose. We was designed to do a specific, do something specific.
Mm-hmm. The thing that, on my podcast, I've had a lot of people that have amazing stories, and it is just one of the things I've fallen in love with the podcast. And that's why I wanted you on here too. But the thing is that is prevalent in every one of them is that they have this life that they love. Some of them don't love their lives, they're put into a place, but they're in a place, and because of some catastrophe like you're getting shot, it all of a sudden puts them in a place that's when they find their purpose, because it's like it took the distraction away and it put them, to me, it's almost like you're going down the road, you think everything's great, and suddenly you got a detour and you go over here. And that's where the gold is. And if the detour hadn't been there and you'd have kept going, it would have been a good life. It could have been a fun life, but would it have been so amazing? Maybe not. But it's like, and we can't see that, because it's like when you look, if you're above something and you can look down, you can see where the road goes and the nuances of different things, and you can read, that's going to be amazing, let's go this way. But when you're in it, you can't see it. And so I have really been so drawn to so many stories that it's like the human spirit is just amazing. And anytime I can connect with someone who has that kind of life, it's just mind-blowing to me. And I love, even though we're not sitting in the same room, I can feel your energy, I
Yes.
can feel that. And I love that about connecting with people like you that have these stories and can share and, help other people to see that, even though you may think things are going great now, if you can finally, maybe explore a little bit, don't let some catastrophe be the thing that puts you over here, and to learn to look at their lives and maybe search within, search with God, search for what is their purpose, get quiet inside and discover it without a catastrophe having to throw them there. But, it is what it is. Like I say in my intro, we have a mosaic life. It's all these things that happen in our life that make us who we are. And you change one thing, even changing who the doctor was for you could have been very, very different outcome. It's one thing, it's like, it's all a symphony of things that are happening. And so you can't take one of the instruments away because the symphony will sound different. So it's like, that's the way it feels to me, that life is just like everything's just flowing and coming together.
Yeah, and life, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the listeners on here, they remember the movie Forrest Gump.
Yes.
And like the old lady asked him what was in the box, and he said, a box of chocolates. It's like life. You never know what to expect or what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I never in my 51 years never thought that I would be a successful author. Mm-hmm. I never thought that I would get shot in the head with a 44 caliber point blank and lose all my football scholarships and baseballs, the dual scholarship. I was the next multiple sports athlete in the 90s to have to either play both football and baseball.
Yeah.
I was the next Deion Bo Jackson. And I just...
In reality, you were the next Gabriel Tuggle, right?
Bam! The next Gabriel Tuggle. I like that. Yes, I was the next greatest. I was the next best, multiple sports athlete. Back in the 90s. But I'm here for a reason, and think about it though. It's making the impossible become possible. I have made the impossible be possible. I don't think an average human would have sustained or overcame what I've gone through. And not only that, in reality of my son passing in 2013, so I'm scarred twice. So
I didn't know about that.
Yes, it's
How
in the
old
book.
was he?
He was 24.
Okay.
He was 24 when he passed. And
so you're telling me to get the story, I got to read the book?
Yes. Get the book. People,
okay.
Get the book. It's on Amazon. It's in Barnes and Nobles. You also can go to my
your
website.
Light went off. Oh, there it goes.
You can also get it on my website, Alive, the number 4, Greatness. Let's shock the world and make this book be one of the best selling stories that can reach a lot of people, because I feel my story, my book, it's a blueprint, it's a roadmap to overcoming adversity, difficult times.
And if I'm remembering right, I've got a note here. Stronger than a speeding bullet.
Yes,
it's
stronger than a speeding bullet. Yes, stronger than a speeding bullet. That's
so everybody, before he even goes any further, just make sure that you go buy the book, and I'm going to have a link in the description, and then share this with other people, tell people, so that this word can get out, because this is, it's very important for society to just know that no matter what happens. And like I said, I've got other people that have stories, they've written books, but they're all different. And so this has a totally different story to tell. So to me, and I could be wrong, this is just my personal opinion, the people that really, really, really need to read this more than anybody, I would think, is high school kids, college kids, people that are relying on this is exactly what's going to happen, so that they can understand that it can be stripped away at any time. So if you're doing all this for this one purpose, think bigger, think broader, get your life to where it's not just about things. And I know everybody would benefit, but to me, when you're telling your story, that's like the young people, the high school, college, people that are in that same space where you were, would probably just be blown away with the reality and how you overcame it. I mean, I'm just, so definitely, make sure you share it out. But go ahead and go back. I'm sorry, I took your, your spot away there.
You hit it on the head, because a lot of people, a lot of athletes out there, they think they're intangible. They don't think nothing can happen to them. Well, you're looking at pretty much, like I said, all county, all state recognized, national and national level, and I had raw talent. And I never, just because I had raw talent, I never thought that I was, that was it. I always put that extra work in. And they're just like, I'm putting in the extra work in in becoming one of the best speakers that's out there. And that's why I'm putting this effort in making sure my book be one of the bestsellers, one of the, top 10, top 5 sellers, if not the number one, book that's out there, because it can help a lot of people. It can help a lot of people, because to overcome what I have went through, it's amazing. It's nothing but God. And, it's a beautiful feeling, being able to be on this platform for people to hear my story. And this is not the last. This is the of many that you will be seeing and hearing about me. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. This is not the last that you've heard about Gabriel Tuggle, because you're going to see me traveling all over the world, sharing my story and on book tours and all that. And there has been some entertainment about making my book a film.
Ah, I can see it. I can see you standing on a stage talking to, thousands of people too. It's definitely, I can say that the possibilities are just, it's not the sky's the limit. I mean, I don't really see a limit there at all.
Yeah, it's on the move, and it's moving fast.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so thankful that you had me on your podcast. It's an honor, and I just want to thank God and give him the highest praise, because if it weren't for him, I would not be here, and my mom. And to all you, like I said, all you listening, buy the book, get the book. It's going to help you. It's just an amazing, incredible story.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and you can go to my website, Alive, the number 4 greatness. And if you need me to come and speak, conferences or anything like that, you can reach out to me on my website. And I would love to come and share my story and be a blessing, be a beacon of light, which that's what I am. I'm a beacon of light.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much again for being here and sharing the story. And I'm so glad that I didn't ask too many questions when we first talked, so I could really get into it and enjoy it, because that was amazing. I loved talking to you, and maybe I'll have you on again sometime in the future. But I know this is going to be amazing story, even past this book, what's happening. So I hope you are journaling and logging all the things that are happening for you, because because you're going to need that for the next book. I'm just telling you.
Yes, and that's
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. Yes, yep. That will be a next book.
All right. Well, fabulous. So again, thank all of my my listeners, the people who are watching, and definitely look in the description, and I'll have all the links to get the books, any of his social media contacts and his website, so that you can book him for a call. Or what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say my IG is GT, the number 4 greatness, and also it's Alive, the number 4 greatness. But I'll
put all the links in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody for being here and listening, and definitely, like I said before, like, share, comment, do all the things. And I will be putting this on YouTube as well. So all you YouTube people, make sure that you do all the YouTubey things, and so that we can get the word out. And I feel ultra blessed to have shared this time with you. And I hope everybody feels the energy and the inspiration from this conversation. So thank everybody so much, and I will see you soon.